Hello, friends, and welcome back to our final game of the evening. Here we've got Game 2 of this two-game series between HGT, the Hyper Glory team, and Newbee.Y. The youngsters, the youth, Juventus, whatever you want to call them, they're here, and, well, they took game number 1 as a surprise to many. The match that was rescheduled for today, originally supposed to be HGT versus VG, now something a little different. And Newbee.Y showing us that, hey, they might be young, but they know themselves some Dota. An interesting draft last game. The support Kunkka may be the thing that stood out the most, but, man, it worked. They made some magic happen out there on the field. Let's take a look at game number 2. HGT, they ban out the Lina, one of the heroes they were bested by in the match prior. They'll take her out as well as the Bat Rider. Newbee.Y, they're taking out the Wisp as well as the Sniper. That opens up for a first pick Troll Warlord. Newbee.Y, they'll have the Troll this time. And Shadow Fiend will be the first pick there for HGT. Vengeful Spirit, their second. So Dire side, HGT will take a little bit of Roche control early on. Lots of minus armor and plenty of damage to bring the big boy down. Storm Spirit, now the second choice for Newbee.Y. Great synergy between these two, the Troll and the Storm Spirit. Even though Storm does a lot of magic damage, still puts out a lot of damage based upon attack speed. And having that ulti from the Troll gives him a lot more pickoff potential if he's able to get an Orchid at a decent timing. Really gives him the ability to take a big presence in that mid game and do a lot of damage. So next round of bans coming through. HGT, they ban out the Spirit Breaker. Yet again, a hero that bested them in game 1. He was in the off lane and just an overall difficult presence to deal with. They're not going to muck around with it this go around. Newbee.Y, they'll take out some supports with their third and fourth. They ban out the Chen as well as the Earthshaker. We've talked a lot about Earthshaker, Shadow Fiend, what that duo can bring to the table in terms of making space for the Shadow Fiend, being there to disengage if the Shadow Fiend gets dove. Vengeful Spirit of a similar flavor, slightly different variety. Can TP in, drop a magic missile, but doesn't quite pack that same punch that a Fissure to block him out does. What does HGT ban out here? Probably want to start taking some supports out of the pool, whatever that it is that they don't want to pick up. I mean, the Newbee.Y supports were pretty unconventional last game. Something like a Skywrath Mage, depending on what offlaner HGT have in mind for themselves. They ban out the Brew, though. Another tempo controller. I guess he could have been the offlaner for Newbee.Y. Oh, you guys want to know what song that was? The Brewmaster. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about the offline Brew. We haven't really seen it too much recently, like in the past month or so. It's viable. But I guess just something HGT don't want to deal with this go around. Good old Troll. Always excited to see this hero picked up. I have not seen enough Troll. I wonder what he's going to do. Oh, okay. HGT switched it up a bit. They take Morphling here. I have a sneaky suspicion this is your Westbrook hero. Could be their safe lane farmer. They could do like an Air Shadow Fiend, ZSMJ on the Morph, and then pick up your more conventional Clockwork or Axe or whatever it is for old Westbrook there, XTT. Or they could do the offline Strength Morphling and then grab something else for Zed. Bit of flexibility here. And that's one of the nice things about the Morphling in this current meta is he is that flex pick that you can grab and leave it a little open-ended, a little ambiguous. You don't know what he's doing. You don't know where he's going. But he's doing it. Newbee.Y, how do they strike back here? They'll need their offlaner and their set of supports. Probably want to pick up that support first here, unless there's an offlaner that they think HGT will grab with their fourth coming up here in the next pick after this. They could try to secure something like the Axe for themselves. Axe, Troll, Storm is a pretty good trio of cores. Gives you a lot of damage, fair bit of lockdown. Instead, they go with all Frosty. But good global presence here. Storm to move around the map. You get the ulti from Troll, then you get the ulti from Ancient Apparition. They could move into like a full global strat here with Zeus being their final core. They could do a position for Zeus, or they could put him in the off lane and then just grab another support. They could support with the Zeus and grab an off lane Clockwork. I think they probably want a little more control than that, though.
5 seconds remaining.
Fourth pick for HGT. Ambiguous
Reserve
here.
time.
They definitely need a support than either that Westbrook or Zed hero. What matches up well against the Troll? I mean, last game they lost with the Troll. Seemed like the Kunkka gave that extra little bit of crowd control they needed just when he BKB manned up. As soon as that BKB got down to 5 seconds, the Troll just couldn't do it. I mean, adaptive Morphling with the strength build is actually a pretty good way to control the Storm Spirit
Radiant
and the Troll.
pick.
And now they've got the Lungin, so even more control. Got yourself a Hex, burst damage with the Finger, the Impale. I like this from HGT. I also like this from Newbee.Y. They grabbed the Clockwork, and again, they add to this global presence they have with really 4 global heroes. Storm not technically global, but very mobile and can move around. So now, basically what they can do is scout with Rocket Flare. Ancient Apparition hits an ultimate. If it connects, Storm zips in, gets the Battle Trance, and that's a free pick-off pretty much every time. If it's a support, easy. If it's a Shadow Fiend, easy. A Strength Morphling, okay, maybe not so easy, but most heroes will die to that. Could be difficult for HGT to deal with here. So final ban's coming out. Rubik will be the 5th ban for HGT. A decent ban here.
5 seconds remaining.
Rubik AA, a pretty good support duo. There are just so many supports in the pool here for Newbee.Y to choose from. They can pretty much go for whatever they want. I think they do want somebody that has a stun, though. I mean, they could go something more greedy, like a Sand King, put him in the jungle. Let him farm up. They will have the luxury of that 10th and final pick, though, so they can be a bit more reactionary here based on HGT. Lycan will be the final ban from Newbee.Y. So, Dire's side, this will be the Telltaler. Will it be the ZSMJ or the Westbrook hero? Still not sure where this Morphling is going to go. If it's... Okay, it's the offlane Morphling. So there you go. Jug.
Team pick.
I was going to say, if it's not the offlane Morph, they need to grab somebody with a stun here. And I think this is the best of both worlds. You get the huge Adaptive Strike stun, but you also get the Jug, who will eventually go for a Basher, probably even an Abyssal. And that gives you some way to deal with the Troll. A way to lock him down through BKB, a tool to lock down the Storm Spirit. And a carry that, as we saw in the last match, can square up against the Troll pretty damn well towards that late game.
5 seconds remaining.
In a man fight, it's not necessarily a raw victory for the Jug, but he can hold his own.
Reserve time.
So Newbee.Y, their second support. Outside of Sand King, what else comes to mind here? They could still do Skywrath. I mean, they played Shadow Demon last game. I don't see any reason why Shadow Demon would not work here. Silence is pretty nice against Morphling usually, but Strength Morph isn't really morphing as much. He's already stuck in Strength form. So I don't know that you really need to draft a Silence just to try and stop him from morphing so easily.
Shadow Shaman.
Shadow Shaman. All right. So a little pushing prowess here for Newbee.Y. All of a sudden, this draft has a little bit of pushing power. You've got your Troll ulti to siege with, and now you've got wards that'll be coming down. Oh, mer. All right, game number 2, final game of the evening, folks. 8 o'clock a.m. here on the Pacific Coast. Wouldn't have it any other way. Casting Dota on my Monday morning. Dota before coffee, that's how we roll. Alrighty, let's introduce some rosters here. Up 1-0 in this two-game series is Newbee.Y, the youngsters. 4-5-6 here on the Rattle Trap Clockwork. MK, the Ancient Apparition. SCCC, their position 1 player, will be on the Troll Warlord. Piao will take the Storm Spirit, probably mid. And MRRR here on the Shadow Shaman and a support role. They will get aggressive again. Last game, Newbee.Y did invade the jungle with a smoke. This time they're not going to smoke up, but they will move in. Pings coming aplenty. HGT looks like they're not going to find a fight here. Pretty Hall, he'll be on the Vengeful Spirit.
30 seconds.
Puts
to
Kaka
battle.
here on the Demon Witch Lion. ZSMJ on the safe lane farming Juggernaut. Air, he's on the Shadow Fiend swagging towards the mid lane. And Westbrook, the off laner, also known as XTT. He'll be here on the Morphling. Ring of Protection already. All you need is that Tranquil Soul Ring. And this Morphling will be throwing out adaptives left, right, and center.
The battle begins.
Okay, so no early first blood here. Jug picks up the top bounty. Shadow Fiend gets the bottom. HGT off to a considerably better start than last game. Their tree had to level Nature's Guise. This go around, they get both of the runes. Very nice. On 2 of their cores, no less. Kaka blocking in the mid lane for the Shadow Fiend. Piao had a better time to block, but actually kind of whiffs his a little bit. So Air not only gets a bounty rune, but now gets lane control as well. Ooh, this mid lane is going to be a little bit rocky, and they've even got the line helping him out here. Shadow Fiend already ferries out another set of tangos. And Kaka will just linger around to make sure this Storm Spirit does not get an easy start. I do like this. Waveform level 1 on Westbrook. He'll be pushed back, but he'll be alright. The offlane Morphling has that luxury of really just needing XP. Natural goal gain is enough for him. A couple of stray last hits here and there. He just wants to get level 7, get his soul ring and tranquil boots, and then he's ready to start wreaking havoc on the enemy team. Oh, up top, Lion's already rotated. Body blocking on 4-5-6. Sets up for the Blade Fury, and there's your first blood. Kaka, he'll be the one to get it on the Lion.
The start of your suffering.
Those early boots paying off as he's already roamed about. I was just about to say the Storm recovers instantly as soon as the Lion leaves the lane. But it comes at a cost, and that's their clockwork. A little unfortunate for ZSMJ. He doesn't get the first blood. He did go boots first after all in the Jug. You don't see this too often. Normally you'll see it when the team that has the Jug feels like they have a really big edge. Here we'll see Kaka come in, stuns, and a body block coming out. ZSMJ with a Blade Fury. We'll just push back the clockwork, but not going for a kill this second time around. All right, Westbrook, level 2, wants this 2-minute rune. Ancient Apparition will be the one to claim it. He gets the bounty, and up top, that's a haste rune. Now picked up by Kaka, level 2 on the Lion. Looking for a wraparound play up top, but the creep's not quite in position. Uh-oh. This could be scary for Clockwork. Lion's going to go charging in here. Hex to start things off. Cogs have already been used. There's your Scream. They've still got a magic missile here. This should be another kill on the Clockwork. Really nowhere for him to go. He's going to try and chase down Kaka, but just can't quite do it. Well, Pretty Haw is only level 1. No magic missile. It's my bad. I thought he was level 2. Really doesn't matter, though. They still find the kill, and this time it's Pretty Haw that gets credit for it. That'll be his magic missile leveled up, and this Clockwork is just getting completely shut down. The big disparity here. Safe lane farmers, somewhat even. Troll farming a little better than the Jug because Jug's busy killing heroes, but Westbrook, halfway through level 2, hasn't died yet, and this guy already died twice. Let's check in on the mid lane here, see how Air is doing against Piao. Yeah, he's holding his own. 14-5 versus the 9-1 Storm Spirit. Could be a lot worse. Air gets his bottle, and closing in on level 5. And the hard part's over here for the Shadow Fiend. He's at least got this core set of Necromastery Souls, and he can start the last hit to his heart's desire. Storm actually walks back to the well here to grab his boots, as well as fill up the bottle. Any stacks in the jungle for him? No, not quite yet. Looks like no stacks at all. Double stack here at this medium camp for the Shadow Fiend. That's about it. Both sides, though, they'll want to get stacks going, especially for this Storm. Whoa, smoke rotation from Kaka. Level 4 Storm in some trouble. Stun, Hex, Air, setting up the Shadow Raises. Well, we're catching a little bit of a lag fest there, but Piao will live. Not the best coordination from Air and Kaka there. I'm not sure exactly what went wrong. Looked like Air hesitated on the raises, but some of that was also lag, so it's kind of hard to gauge. Bottom bounty gets picked up by Westbrook, so he'll now be halfway through level 3, and the top illusion bottled up by Air. Rune control definitely going the way of the Dire this game. Storm now starting to struggle in the lane a little bit as Shadow Fiend starts to take over. A rough time for the Storm when he's only level 5, doesn't have any stacks to retreat to, and now on an empty bottle. When Storm can't control runes, he becomes a lot less scary.
Radiant's middle tower
HGT can
is
keep up
under
this
attack.
kind of rune control. They'll just naturally start to box out this Storm while the Shadow Fiend continues to free farm away in the lane. Looking at the safe lane carries, still pretty straightforward. ZSMJ with Phase Boot's first item. We'll see what build he goes for, but I reckon it'll be pretty standard. Probably just Mask of Madness into Yasha. SCCC, probably looking to do something similar. He does grab an early Orb of Venom. I think good on the troll, just not an item pickup you see all that often. He will go ahead and just grab the Phase Boot straight
Radiant's
away.
bottom tower is under
Now
attack.
Westbrook has to be a little more careful, a little more movement speed. Pretty quiet early game, all things considered. HGT have been the big aggressor so far. Two supports will rotate to the top. Clockwork playing so far back in the lane. Benj just plops down a ward and says, all right, well, at least we know what he's doing now. And they've got eyes on him. It's nighttime. He does not see him.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
This
Radiant
Clockwork
structures
ventures forward.
are
This is a really
fortified.
sneaky time from HGT. I like this. Knowing their limits here in the darkness of night. Kaka and ZSMJ just baiting under the tower now, with Pretty Hall hiding nearby.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Oh, power cogs come out right as ZSMJ wants to bring out that Omni Slash. Would have been a potential kill.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Now Air rotating over.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
As Murr also comes in. Hasted up. Pretty Hall now revealed himself. He's going to do the wraparound. Stun out onto the Clockwork. Follow up Earth Spike. And there should be plenty of damage to bring down 4, 5, 6. And there is. It's Air that gets credit for that one. Air also getting the last hit on the tower.
Dire's
Great
structures
exchange for
are
HGT. That'll make it
fortified.
3-1. And they get the first tower kill of the game here at the 6.5-minute mark. Already a 3,000 net worth lead. 1,500 experience edge here for HGT. Pretty sizable.
Dire's
Westbrook
middle tower is under attack.
now with Tranquil boots
Radiant's
up.
top tower is under attack.
Things getting a little better for this Morphling. Looking at net worth, the Jug is starting to
Dire's
overtake
middle
the
tower
Troll. The
is under
tower
attack.
plus those kills starting to add up a little bit. Wrap around from the Storm down bottom. Westbrook going to find himself in a sticky wicket here. Flying Vision comes out. He will waveform across. But there's your zip from Piao. Westbrook morphing the little strength he has left. And it won't be enough. The Morph ends up going down. Storm Spirit gets his first kill of the game. Nice rotation there. And finds the weak one. Slim pickings. Shadow Fiend will be going for mech, so Air definitely wants to be a little more combative this game. Will want to fight. MRRR hit by a Shadow Raise and now in a lot of trouble. Hex comes out onto ZSMJ, shackled under the tower, but the shackle's set up for an easy set of raises. Not even a set, it's a singleton raise. Shadow Fiend brings him down.
Radiant structures are fortified.
With that, HGT will look to pressure this Tier 1
Radiant's
tower
middle
into mid
tower
lane.
is under attack.
Making good use of this healing ward here. ZSMJ with 3 points in stats, doing the 1-1-1. I think probably one of the most common Jug builds you'll see for the most part. Sometimes you'll see that second point of Blade Fury and not second attribute,
Radiant's middle tower is
or
under
a
attack.
third attribute rather.
Radiant's middle tower
But they
has
will get the
fallen.
tower down in the mid lane, so still objective gaming for HGT. Troll, 1,500 gold. Getting aggressive onto Westbrook here. Pretty hobble, rotate down. Try and babysit Westbrook a little bit so he can start to farm up. Really want to find that soul ring pretty soon. You can even start moving around at level 5, honestly. Max adaptive at level 3 is still pretty sizable. 3.25 second stun, nothing to scoff at. Smoke rotation from HGT. Their two big cores, Juggernaut and Shadow Fiend, venturing through the mid lane, and we'll see where they end up here. Is this a play at Roche? Looks like it is. Mask of Madness has come out on Zed. They've got the extra armor from the Buckler. They should be able to do this very easily here. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Pretty Haw jumped on by Piao. Gets off a magic missile, but still falls. Hex is there. Piao low on mana. In kind of an awkward position here. He pulls the cores out of Roche. Now putting some pressure onto Kaka. And it looks like he will just be pushed back. ZSMJ and Air will stay true to the cores in the Roche, but it looks like Newbee.Y are not suspicious. They're busy clearing a stack of their own. Getting some extra money here on the supports and trying to help this Clockwork find level 6. But we will actually move back to the well before leeching the XP. Roche falling quickly, and he will go down. Aegis of the Immortal goes to Air on the Shadow Fiend. He also gets his mech delivered while they're roshing. Now HGT are definitely in fighting shape, if for no reason other than having the Aegis. Air gets initiated on by the Troll, throws out a couple raises to try and finish off this Dark Troll Summoner camp, and he will. Okay. Looks like Piao will go for the Orchid build, it seems like. He's got to roll with the Magi, 2 null tallies to go with his power treads. Very stats-based right now, but it will not be a fast Orchid timing at this rate. Unless, does he have a lot on the courier? He certainly does not. And there's Westbrook with his Soul Ring. Halfway through level 6. The dream is real. That adaptive strike, SCCC. He's going to be in a lot of trouble here. Omni Slash available. Adaptive hits him right in the face. He's just going to die in the full duration of the adaptive. Easy as that. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Yao gets a solo pickoff onto the Lion. Trading 1-for-1 around the map. They get the kill on the high-priced Troll. That's exactly what they're looking for. Looks like MK also gets stunned up here. He'll be collateral. He'll go down. Shadow Fiend gets the last remaining Tier 1 tower. HGT finding victories all over the place here. 10 kills in 11 minutes. It's HGT that have a Shadow Fiend that's farming out of control at this point. 5K net worth, 3K experience, 7K net worth overall on Air, with Storm being the leading farmer on the Radiant at only about 5K, actually just a little bit shy. They'll scout him out, farming in the enemy jungle. Low on mana, can they get vision? Pretty Haw almost finds it. Had the mana for the magic missile, but couldn't quite get there in time to interrupt the storm. A little close for comfort, though. Okay. Westbrook getting aggressive here. There's a Frost Ogre here. Blow for blow with Westbrook. Oh my. All right, meanwhile in the mid lane, the rest of HGT pressuring the tier 2 tower here.
Bottom tower is under
now,
attack.
Newbee.Y do have a glyph. This is not the most crippling of pushes. They're kind of just chipping at this tower. They will TP back to repel the bottom push from the Troll.
Over here now.
And it looks like, oh, ZSMJ may square up against the Storm.
Radiant's
pushing
middle
it back,
tower
just wants
is
to
under
clear out
attack.
these neutrals. And Jug will be happy just to farm in the lane. Kaka gets level 6 on the Lion. 3 points in your Earth Spike.
Radiant's
So
middle
he does have a
tower
Finger
is
of Death
under
ready to
attack.
try to find a kill. I
Dire's
don't know that he has
bottom
enough damage
tower
to bring
is
down
under
the Troll,
attack.
but he may have a go at it. Earth Spike falls short. And now the Troll makes it out, I think. Long range waveform. Adaptive is there. Connects. Lion. Oh, he gets off the
Radiant's middle
finger.
tower is under attack.
But now he's out of mana. Can they actually kill this Troll? Adaptive. He doesn't have the mana. No! Alright, well, the Troll lives. Failed gank from HGT. The most noble of efforts. Unable to make it happen that go-around.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Meanwhile, in the mid, Tier 2 tower, still under siege, keeping the rest of Newbee.Y kind of landlocked. They are doing pretty good damage to the tower in between creep waves. Down to about half health. Glyph still standing.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Here we go. Hook shot in. ZSMJ will just Blade Fury straight away and try to turn this around. 4-5-6, still rather healthy. Kind of an awkward exchange, but there's a swap from Pretty Hall. Not enough mana for a stun. He may pay with his life, but the Clockwork barely lives. Oh my, nice cogs from 4, 5, 6 there. Splits it up and ends up making it a 1-0. That's it though. Very minor casualty. Just Avenge in the grave. Meanwhile, Kaka farming down bottom. That'll be his Blink Dagger coming out. Would have been with that creep kill.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
So, Blink Hex on the Lion, always scary. Aegis of the Immortal. Soon to expire. Very slow and steady kind of a game.
I'm over here.
Kaka, jumped on. Can he get his Blink? No. That is unfortunate for the Lion. Much less than ideal to go down there, but Piao, he's going to get punished. Westbrook comes cruising in, hits him with an adaptive, channels a Requiem, and it's the Vengeful Spirit that actually ends that streak. It's a 500 gold bounty out of that. Very nice for the Venge.
Tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified.
So unfortunate for Lion, though. He was like 20 gold short from his Blink, and now he's going to have to farm a little bit longer.
Is under attack.
Frost Awards come down in the mid. That's going to end up being some free money for HGT, mostly for Air, who's just cleaning these babies up. A 1 shot, 1 kill. Yum. Top lane. Trap is set for the Juggernaut here. Chilling Touch preemptively applied as they go to jump in. They can't find the opening they're looking for. HGT thinking about a wraparound of their own. Westbrook and Pretty Haw on a mission. Westbrook gets bashed right away. Magic Missile sets it up. Adaptive to follow. Double stun. Waveform away. And the Troll can't do anything about it. Storm starts to pursue but does opt to back up. So Lion right back to farming, wants to finish off that Blink Dagger. Jug with a very basic kit here for the 16-minute mark. Phase Boots, Yasha, Mask of Madness. Nothing too crazy about that. Look at the gold graph. It is HGT coming out all things ahead. 7,500 net worth and about 5,000 experience is the lead they've garnered for themselves in the last 16 minutes of gameplay. Storm, closing on the Orchid kind of, has 2 Oblivion Staves and a fair bit away from finishing off that recipe. But making progress. Could still have his Orchid before 20 minutes yet, which would be decent. He's found a couple of pickoffs that have made things a little easier. See smoke rotation wrap around. They don't even need the smoke. Mur goes down and he uses Rost Awards for this. Hoping to trap in the Jug. There is a TP, but little do they know there's a lot of support inbound. The Jug just TPs out and, well, the Ancient Apparition who TP'd in just gets obliterated.
Bottom tower has fallen.
Odd way to handle that from Newbee Youth. And ends up just being a twofer. Again, not the biggest trade, just the supports. The real action's down bottom. With SCCC and Piao pressuring the tier 2. HGT do come in and stop the push. All right. Yep, Dire get a ward on the plateau here. Is that their only ward down? Yeah, it is. It's their only bit of ward coverage. It could get countered. It looks like it was pinged out. Radiant with some very defensive wards, just to try and secure their mid lane. And they do have a sentry ward, and they'll get vision to the high ground and say goodbye to your vision, HGT. Nicely done by Newbee. But not too hard to figure out after that little skirmish down here. Oh, you get that, Centaur. Centaur down. Roshan up in less than a minute. And looks like that's what HGT will be waiting for. Orchid completed on the Storm. 18-minute Orchid, really not too shabby. Piao had a pretty slow start, but now 5-1 and 0. He's really turned things around. Got a good bit of momentum to his name.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Try to find kills with the Orchid at least. We'll see if he can actually do it.
Structures are fortified.
Mid tier 2 will start taking some damage. Glyph comes out straight away with Air just laying into it.
Is under attack.
Meanwhile in the top lane, Newbee.Y will get a tier 1 tower for their troubles. Trading tier 1 for tier 2. Not bad when you're this far behind. Orchid will get revealed onto Kaka. And he'll get turned into Kaka as Piao brings him down.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
No way to punish it, but now they know the Orchid is out at least. Haste Rune up top. Will get picked up by the Shadow Shaman. They are smoked up. HGT was looking closely. They might have saw it. Hook shot onto Pretty Hall. He's all by himself. Westbrook's nearby. He's gotten adapted, but now he gets hexed up. Air will just turn face and run. Westbrook trying to retreat as well. Piao low on mana. I don't think they can bring him down here, but whoa, the Stretch Armstrong shackles. Westbrook will end up going down. ZSMJ TP's in. Piao will get chopped.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Killing spree now for the
Dire's
Jug.
structures are fortified.
One of these awkward exchanges where the Storm gets a kill, but he goes in just a little too deep. Ancient Apparition now with the hand of Midas. Pretty good timing there. Okay. Things hang in there for Newbee.Y. They're starting to get progress back in this game. It will not come from a form of Roshan, though. This is easy Rosh for HGT. This is Rosh number 2 as well. Looks like it'll be pretty much uncontested. Ice Blast, Rocket Flare both fly in. But no Shatter comes out, and Roshan dies. And ZSMJ, he gets himself an Aegis of the Immortal. There you go, easy as that. Double damage rune to boot. Air gonna shoot through that bottle, and he's gonna save that blueberry for another day. He's now got a 10-second BKB and Blink to go with his next. This is like the core combative kit here for the Shadow Fiend. He is ready for blood. Ancient stack here. It's just finding the right opening. Newbee.Y have been pretty elusive this game, I have to admit.
Rock it on. I'm over here.
Looks like BKB will be coming out for the Storm next. Looking towards late game, I feel like Newbee.Y can be fairly comfortable just sitting back and trading farm like this. If it stays about this lead, around that 5K mark, they could be okay. You got Shadow Fiend Jug on one side, but Storm Troll on the other.
Whoa,
Midas on the Ancient Apparition helps tip things in favor of Newbee a little. Then you've got a Morphling who can always transition into a little bit more of a carry role as the game goes on. Lion, a great support that scales very well, and as is the Vengeful Spirit. So, I mean, HGT, they're no slouches in the late game. I think that's part of the reason we're seeing this more or less stalemate, kind of even type matchup. Both teams peaking at very similar times here. Gem now up on the Venge. That was picked up by Pretty Haw. Still no Gem on the Radiant side. MK using this Midas, but still very far away from the Aghanim Scepter. Mid lane. Nope, just a raise and a blink back. Farm, 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 he said. Oh, Westbrook walks right into SCCC. Hits him with an adaptive. Now he takes the Orchid. Westbrook could be in some trouble here, but Air channels a Requiem, does okay damage. Hook shot in from 4-5-6. Looks like Piao isolated off to the side. He'll go down. Westbrook is still alive. Survived the initial onslaught. And without vision, HGT will not walk up the high ground. Instead, they just turn their focus towards the mid lane. With Storm down, they'll try to force a buyback here or just chip at the high ground. It will be the latter. No buyback available on the Storm. Newbee.Y could still make a hold. Ancient Apparition down to the bottom. He gets stunned up. Well, he's going to go down. And all of a sudden, it's a 5v3. No glyph for another 10, 15 seconds. And this will be a dead tier 3 tower at the very least. HGT can make claim barracks off this also. They've got 10 seconds till Storm comes up. ZSMJ going ham all over these barracks. It's a ham sandwich. SCCC. CC. Throws out some Whirling Axes. They need to do something. Losing barracks this early can be crippling.
Has fallen.
It is just the melee barracks, but the most important thing here is HGT making it out without any casualties. Storm responds and doesn't get anything here. Oh, here we go. They reinitiate. It's a fake back. SCCC swapped into an adaptive strike and brought down from full to 0. Great fake back from HGT. They catch him off guard, and this time it yields a kill. Very nicely done, and they'll now rotate to the top lane. Seems with this Aegis of the Immortal, they are comfortable being a bit hyper-aggressive, and they're just going to keep taking objectives as long as they can. Only about a minute left on the Aegis, but they may still be able to find another skirmish yet. Morphling carrying the gem now. Looks like he'll move into a Yule's Scepter. Obvious synergy here, set up for the adaptive strike. Speaking of adaptive strike, good night, MK, and good luck getting that Aghanim Scepter, good sir. I catch him out again, and now Air on a mega kill streak. Storm's still very far away from the BKB. I mean, the item progression has just stopped for the Radiant side. Force staff on the way for the clock, but it's everything is just stymied now. Pickoffs happening left and right. Pretty much everyone turtled in the base except for Piao.
Radiant structures are fortified.
HGT now go to the high ground. Glyph comes out right away to keep this tier 3 tower safe and sound. Ancient Apparition will be up in just a couple of seconds. SCCC is here to try and mount the defense, but it's not going to be easy. Aegis of the Immortal will expire here momentarily, and it's gone. ZSMJ does get clipped by the Ice Blast, but they're just chipping at this tower. Air happy to just keep lobbing in auto attacks from the low ground.
Thanks.
He still has the mech, still has the BKB, and he'll mech up now to keep this creep wave alive. A couple of uphill misses, a little bit unlucky there. Troll will deny the tower.
Top tower has been denied.
Yeah, deny a minor victory, but HGT still happy just to clear out their second tier 3 tower at only the 26-minute mark. Some good momentum off that. Jug also secures his Scotty after that successful series of fights. You look at this net worth chart, and these cores are just out of control. Jug and Shadow Fiend farming like madmen. They're like 50% up on the leading cores of Newbee.Y. Your Troll and your Storm Spirit. They're just falling too far behind at this point. 12K net worth and about 12K experience is the lead for the Hyper Glory team. SCCC looking for that BKB. Yep, Jug just completed the Scotty, and what's that on the courier? Ah, just the TP scroll. Shadow Fiend probably looking for a Scotty of his own. Scotties for everyone. HGT are just unrelenting with the pressure, though, constantly invading the enemy jungle, and I feel like we've seen that a lot here in the matches today of one team getting ahead and then just slowly tightening the noose of the opposition. Not getting too crazy, but just controlling the map, making sure they don't have too many places to farm, and if they do, it's not enough for their whole team. Morphling gives up on the Yule Scepter for now.
Radiant's bottom tower
And
has
it looks
fallen.
like he'll just go straight into Blink Dagger. And there's your Scotty on the Shadow Fiend. So some more big item progression on this dire side. Look, the Radiant's still not much except for that BKB on Troll. That's the only big one they've picked up. But now HGT, they start sieging the high ground, and Newbee not quite in position to defend. They will get into position, but their tier 3 tower, the last one of theirs, mind you, is already down to about half health. Air initiated on, long range hook shot out onto Kaka. Air could go down first. He's falling fast, uses the BKB, but can't even mech. Finger comes out onto the Clockwork. They trade 1 for 1. Not ideal for HGT. They throw away a streak, and there should be a pretty big gain for the Radiant side. Yeah, about 1,600. Bulk of it going to the Storm Spirit, but spread across the crew. Very nicely done. Shadow Fiend could have mech'd there. I think he still would have died, but maybe could have been a slightly different story if he lived long enough just to catch up with his team. Seems like HGT not quite respecting Newbee.Y there and their ability to defend so quickly. They were a little bit out of position, but that Shadow Fiend was just way too far forward on the high ground. No need to take that kind of risk, sir. Just sit back on the low ground and slow siege it. We'll be close to a max Roche respawn here, just a couple seconds short of 3 minutes past the initial timer. So that is good news for Newbee.Y. Theoretically extends the window in which HGT is not pushing. Support starting to come online on both sides. He's got himself a Blink Dagger. And, well, Ancient Apparition can at least buy a piece of his Aghanim Scepter. That's something. Westbrook, watch out.
You're not going anywhere.
He did.
Death is not the end, but it might as
That
well
was a
be.
gem, too. Pretty big pickup. Now Storm's got himself a new prize. So ZSMJ now picks up a Basher to go with his Eye of Scotty. We talked about it in the draft. Great item on the Jug to allow him to be combative with the Troll, having that Bash to lock him down through BKB. Just a good item on Jug in general. Newbee.Y grouped up in the bottom, kind of as if they want to push. Oh man, Shadow Shaman's still only level 10. He's got to be close to the lowest in the game. Yeah, him and Clockwork both, the two lowest levels in the game. Yet to find two ultimates. Both pretty close, but this hurts particularly for the Shadow Shaman. It's a pretty big upgrade. Does have a Blink Dagger though. HGT realizing that Roche could be up here any minute. They'll be waiting about another minute as they linger about the pit, get control around this area. Let's take a look at vision. Radiant have next to none around this area. They'll throw out a rocket flare. They've got this hero creep charging in. You go, little buddy. Come on, little man, you can do it. Dire side, they don't really have great vision either. They've got this guy right here on the high ground, but no real intel into this side of the map to see what Newbee.Y are up to and how close they are to contesting. All right, Roche is up. Radiant will scout it out first. Their little hero creep here. And Westbrook will just jump right in.
Rocket on.
So Newbee smoked up. They're going to make a movement towards the pit here. Rocket flare to get things scouted. Take a look at Radiant Vision. They don't see a hell of a lot. And need to think about how they want to make this jump happen. They need hookshot to connect on a few, but now HGT smoke up. Who's going to jump who here? Will this smoke get revealed? Oh, it's going to be close. It's Westbrook that jumps forward. Yow, hit by a... Oh, he's stunned, fingered, and brought down. Requiem drops the Troll and the Shadow Shaman in a matter of seconds. It's a disaster. That Troll blinked into a Requiem, and now Westbrook finds MK off to the side, hits him with an adaptive. That could not have gone better for HGT at all. This is going to be a clean 5-for-0 trade. Adaptive hits again, and yeah, MK is going down. So let's recap here. The fight starts with Westbrook getting a nice adaptive initiation as they blink forward with the smokes. Then Shadow Fiend, BKB, Requiem's right here. Troll blinks in, says, I want to fight. Put me in, coach. Gets destroyed by the Requiem, taken down to like 10% HP or something, and the rest of his team just implodes. Mid lane of ranged barracks going down. They're forced to glyph from the creeps. And now the top lane of barracks that have been exposed going to fall in just a matter of seconds here as good old ZSMJ comes cruising in.
Radiant's top barracks are under attack.
This will be a top lane of barracks down. It looks like HGT
top barracks
just a few steps away from going 1-1 in this two-game series.
Radiant's top barracks has fallen.
It's been a little bit sloppy across these two games from HGT, but that was the fight they needed. Crisp execution and just completely running over Newbee.Y. Now looking for the right angle to initiate here. This could be our final fight. Air goes forward, hook shot off to the side. Air in very forward. They bring down the Ancient Apparition first. Piao hops out, brings down the Vengeful Spirit. He does have that BKB. This is the 10-second BKB debut. They trade support for support. Now 4-5-6, caught by an adaptive outside of the base. No way he's surviving that one. Raises bring him low, then a couple of auto attacks just finish him off. Now SCCC. He's in some trouble. He gets hit by an adaptive now. He's dead, and this should be the GG fight. Westbrook hit by the Orchid. He'll hit the deck. ZSMJ taking a lot of damage. Buybacks aplenty. Whoa! 3 buybacks from Newbee.Y. Air still alive, though, as is ZSMJ. Air maybe not alive for long. He'll go down. He had cheese and mech, but was hexed up and couldn't make the most of it. And Newbee.Y will actually repel. Across the slew of buybacks, they still get a huge net worth gain of about 3K, and it's not done yet. They want one more. ZSMJ hasn't made it out quite yet. Shackle is there. Even an Ice Blast will connect. And it's the Troll Warlord that ends the godlike streak of ZSMJ. That was his first death of the game. And that Troll, oh my god. He just got 1,400 gold from that kill on the Jug. That's pretty nice. I think you can be pretty happy with that. Okay.
Rock it on.
Well, that's cute. I think cute is the right word. Newbee.Y, they kind of hold on. Still 15K-ish net worth lead, 10K experience. 2 lanes of barracks down. They do have 1 lane standing, but that was costly. 3 buybacks. Newbee.Y stay in the game a little bit longer, but they're still taking tier 1 towers. Piao taking down pretty hard. That was ambitious. They'll probably get this tier 1 tower. Yep, they sure will. Storm gets the last hit on that one. HGT need to tighten up here, man. Abyssal Blade now comes out on the Jug. Well, the adaptive Morphling has definitely worked out pretty well this game. He's now closing in on the Yule Scepter, just the 2 mana regen pieces away, so still has a little bit of farming to do, but Westbrook has got the core kit that he needs. Oh, just needs the Void Stone now. Air, maybe Panic BKB is a little bit in the mid lane, but still gets the kill on Myrrh. That was, sorry, it's a 5-second BKB anyway, so it really doesn't matter. Adaptive connects on SCCC. He uses his BKB. Now Westbrook turns and runs. Says, oh, he's BKBing. Okay, Omni Slash comes in. It's a dead Troll. Oh, Omni Slash to interrupt the TP, and BKB ain't going to save you from all that physical. Troll was one to buy back, as was the Shadow Shaman. Stuck in the grave without buybacks here. HGT know this, and they will press forward. Put some pressure on for what could be the final fight. The final countdown has begun. Finger out onto Piao. He gets stunned up. A couple of crits finish him off here. Clockwork still alive. Buyback from Piao. He hops out, gets Abyssal. It's a dieback for Piao. Get back in the grave, they say, and instantly, I'm dead. My team's dead. GG, well played. I'm tapping out. I've had enough, good sir. No more, please. No more. Oh, HGT looking a lot better in game number 2 than game 1. That's for sure. Still a little bit sloppy, maybe coming in a little arrogant over the Newbee youthful squad, but man, Newbee.Y showing us that they've got some skills to pay the bills. Squaring up 1-1, and a great start for them to get this this tournament rolling. Great showing from ZSMJ, 11-1-9. The Jug just proving to be a little too much. So there you go, folks. Thanks so much for joining us here for the opener of iLeague Season 3 China. There's going to be a lot of iLeague coverage coming up for like the next month or so. There's like iLeague games for China every day. I don't know who's